Seems forever since we last did a transfer show, but there we go. Today is going to be the third episode of the transfer show of the Championship. I've not done it for about a week now, and there's so much business that's taken place. We've still got 9 days left of the window. I'm really excited to go through what we've learned so far. The first part of the video is going to be me talking about the new confirmed transfer since my last transfer video. The second part is going to be on the rumours. I've got 15 juicy rumours to go through today. There's normally a third part where I go through comments. There were a load of comments on my last transfer video, but none really specifying any sort of moves and ambitions for the club. So I'm not going to pick those out. So this video is only going to be in 2 parts today. As always, if you like what you see, you want to see more Championship content from me, please make sure you do give this video a like. It is massively appreciated. We're on 88 subscribers at the moment. It would be fantastic to soon get to the elusive 100 subscriber count. That would be absolutely outstanding. Please share the channel to as many Championship fans as you can, or even football fans as you can, and subscribe if you haven't, or if you're new around here. All of that would be fantastically appreciated. But without any further ado, let's go through all the confirmed signings we've got so far. Starting off with Dan Randolph. Finally, he's completed his very long medical. He has joined back to West Ham with a fee of around 4.23 million. I think West Ham will deeply benefit from that. Roberto, their second choice goalkeeper, has recently left to join Alaves on loan. It'll be interesting if West Ham's defensive record improves under his return. He'll have to start very soon, especially as Fabianski is still injured. Agus Medina of Birmingham has left to join UE Cornelia on loan. Conor Gallagher to Swansea was one of the big high-profile signings a couple of days ago, being recalled by Chelsea but now joining Swansea. Andy Keane to Huddersfield from Leicester, another really big signing. I think might actually help Huddersfield. Martin Samuelsson has gone on a loan from West Ham to Hull. Jack Clark to QPR on the loan from Spurs. Another big signing, obviously made his debut against Leeds United and gaining a positive result. Following Dan Randolph's departure, Middlesbrough managed to get goalkeeper Dejan Stojanovic from St Gallen. Gary Medine has just left Cardiff to join Blackpool. A funny record about Gary Medine: 3 seasons he's had 3 consecutive promotions, one with Bolton, one with Cardiff, and one with Sheffield United. So maybe these are good omens for Blackpool, who have fallen away from League One a little bit. Maybe they need him to try and revitalise their season because they had a terrific start. Rodri has just left Bristol City. He's currently without a club at the moment. Hopefully he'll find a club soon. Now sometimes people say really silly things, but listen to this. Terence Kongolo was linked with Fulham. I think that rumour was completely cut adrift. Terence Kongolo was linked with Fulham. I think that rumour was completely cut adrift. Terence Kongolo was linked with Fulham. I think that rumour was completely cut adrift. Well, Fulham kind of have Terence Kongolo. They managed to get him on Huddersfield. Really good signing, fat in my opinion. Fulham have also been busy getting Jordan Archer, Oxford United's goalkeeper, to join them as well. Both I think will be good for squad depth for Fulham. Sammy Smodix of Bristol City has joined Peterborough on loan. I think having a chance in the league below, I think, is what's needed. He needs to get his scoring boots back because he was prolific with Colchester in League 2 last season. Josh Ginley of Preston has managed to join Bristol Rovers on loan. Harry Toffolo has joined his former manager Danny Cowley to Huddersfield Town. I've seen a bit of him with Lincoln City and he looks pretty good as well. I think Huddersfield has really got a good buy there. Matt Wilkes has had a transfer from Barnsley to Hull. Not really started all that much for Barnsley. Hull, I don't know how he'll cope, but it's an interesting signing. Ryan Woods is one that really sticks out to me. He was prolific in the Championship, really good for Brentford. Joined Stoke and didn't really get the same impact. He's now joined Millwall under Gary Rowett. I think he can get the best out of him, and I think it could be a positive signing for Millwall if he's played the right way. Another transfer that sticks out, which happened yesterday, is Abu Diakabi managing to join from Huddersfield to Nottingham Forest. Obviously, he's joined Huddersfield from Monaco, but he's just not looked the same since that Monaco side. And I think joining Nottingham Forest, I think getting a new start might just be what Diakabi needs, and I think this could be a very positive signing for Nottingham Forest. One recent bit of confirmed business: Jack Robinson of Nottingham Forest has joined Sheffield United, a deal that can probably suit both clubs. Jack Robinson, despite starting a couple of times, he's not been their top fullback, but I think for Sheffield United it will really improve their squad there following some of the injuries they have. Elia Caprile of Kiev Verona has managed to join Leeds United. It's a goalkeeper which I don't necessarily think they need. I know Casilla has had poor moments this season, but I don't think goalkeeper is their worst position, honestly. I think attacking wise they need strikers. If they don't get someone up front, I don't see Leeds promoted. And recently Chris Maxwell has been recalled by Hibernian to join back after having a pretty uneventful loan at Preston. So that's pretty much all the confirmed transfer business that has happened since that last video. If I've missed any out, just let me know in the comments down below. I'll mention it next video. Now I get to the rumours, and we've got a lot of rumours to go through. So the biggest rumour of today is focusing on Jude Bellingham. He's obviously had interest. He was in my first episode of the transfer show. But recently we found out Manchester United have got a big interest in this fullback, and they're willing to pay more than £30 million for him. I won't lie, if I was in Birmingham's position, despite of how good Jude Bellingham is, he's young, his contract hasn't run out yet, I'd take the money. I really would. It's quite rare that you find a club willing to pay more than 25 million for a championship player, but Man United, they really want to try and implement this system of managing to develop young youthful players and English players as well. I'm going to be very surprised if Birmingham will be able to turn that offer down. They may do if they really value Jude Bellingham that much to the squad, but with him being 16 years old, he's got a load of potential, and although I hope that he doesn't get too much pressure too early on. You know, with young teenagers, sometimes if you give them too much of a burden at a young age, they can seriously underperform. But with a great opportunity like this, I'd take it, honestly, and Birmingham could really heavily use that to their advantage, especially in the next couple of transfer windows. One of the rumours I heard recently was between Bristol City and Charlton. It looks like that they're trying to implement a swap deal for Casey Palmer and Lyle Taylor. Thing is with Lyle Taylor, he's not renewed his contract runs out in the end of this year, and Charlton could be inclined to try and cash in on him, so that they can get some value for the striker back if he's not going to renew his contract at the end of the season. With Casey Palmer, a little bit of a similar situation. I think there's been a clash of heads between him and Lee Johnson. He's made a couple of starts. He's not started too much, but I know of his quality with him being on loan from Chelsea. I think he can get a load of opportunities with Charlton, especially playing upwards as a number 10 position, finding that killer pass. I think he can really benefit from that, and he is a very versatile player, which will really help Lee Bowen as well. I don't quite see the deal happening, but it's a very interesting rumour regardless. One name that's been linked quite recently is Petar Musa. Now, Bristol City and Cardiff are interested in this guy. He's on loan at Slovan Biovaric from Slavia Prague. The stats give you encouraging signs with 7 goals and 2 assists, 17 appearances. Well, I don't know too much about this guy, but maybe he will want to get a move round to England, so this move could happen if both Bristol City and Cardiff hold firm in trying to get this guy. Josh Brownhill has been another one that's been in the limelight in the transfer window. Burnley, Leicester and Sheffield United are all interested, all willing to pay around £8 to £10 million for him. Not sure if it's quite meeting his valuation, but I think Burnley in particular are really keen to try and get him. But what we could see is the following rumour take place if this rumour actually takes place as well, and that is on Nahki Wells. Obviously, he's been recalled by Burnley following his fantastic form with Queen's Park Rangers. He's Queen's Park Rangers' top goal scorer this season, albeit the goal last weekend should not have counted, but he has been their top goal scorer so far. He's on red hot form right now, and it makes sense for Burnley to recall him, but it looks like Bristol City are inclined to try and sign him permanently, and it would make sense. They have been linked with so many strikers and they need one following the injury of Benicophobe. They need more options up there. It would be a big blow to Queen's Park Rangers if they do let him go, and especially if Bristol City do manage to sign him as well, because it would really weaken them but strengthen them. It would increase Bristol City's chances in getting to the playoff places though. So I could kind of see this deal happening, but it's whether they're willing to try and let Josh Brownhill go in the process. So Leeds United have been linked with quite a few people. One of the ones I've seen recently is Leigh Griffiths. Now, undoubtedly, a couple of seasons ago, really prolific goal scorer in the Scottish Premiership. He's had injuries though, and since then, in the previous 2 seasons, he's really struggled. He's now third in command in the Celtic squad. Edouard, who's done really well for Celtic, has now kind of taken his place as the number 1 striker. And Griffiths has previously played in English football as well. I can see why Leeds are interested, because if you give him the right amount of games, he can score plenty of goals. But I'm not sure on this one. I think it's going to take him longer than January to May for him to start scoring properly. I say Leeds need to get someone that's more proven championship quality to score the goals, especially in recent times, and not with someone that's been struggling for the past 2 years. But they could look to this guy, Che Adams. Now, as of today, they've had 3 bids rejected by Southampton on Che Adams. Leeds are growingly frustrated that Southampton are not letting Che Adams go. They are very keen to get a striker to help Patrick Bamford. Marcelo Bielsa has made it very clear that Leeds want more attacking options, and it's looking like it could be a very frustrating window for Leeds. If they can get the right players in the right positions, Leeds will have a chance. But if they miss out on a striker, I don't think Leeds will get promoted. That's my opinion. Without a win so far in 2020, it's essential that they improve their options up top. Patrick Bamford has not had a very strong season, and he can't do everything. He needs support. Another name that's been thrown around is Isaac Mbenza, with Fulham and Bournemouth being interested in the guy. He's played a couple of times for Huddersfield, but he's only featured once under Danny Cowley. It makes sense that Danny Cowley's trying to move him on. Bournemouth, I'd say, would be a good option for him. I think Bournemouth really need more options, especially in his position. But if Fulham get him, Fulham could really strengthen their squad, and they've already got a few confirmed signings already. Going back to Leeds and the Che Adams situation, it looks like their second choice, if they don't get Che Adams, will be Britt Assombalonga. Now, he's had a pretty consistent time in the Championship, scoring more than 10 goals in 4 of his last 5 seasons. Obviously, 2015-16, he had so many injuries. He only featured 4 times that season, so he couldn't really do much about that. He had a great time with Nottingham Forest. Middlesbrough has looked great in parts, but quite inconsistent, a little bit hot and cold. So I'm not sure if Leeds would be the right club for him, and I'm not sure how he would exactly fit in the way that Leeds want to play as well. So a bit more risky if they get Assombalonga, but I can really see Che Adams adapt well into this role. Another name being linked very recently is Matty Cash, with West Ham, Southampton and AC Milan all interested in the fullback. I'm not sure if I'm going to see him go in this transfer window. I'd say summer window I think will be a more appropriate time for Matty Cash to leave. Obviously, he's had one of his best seasons with Nottingham Forest, being, in my opinion, one of the best fullbacks in the league, if not probably the best fullback in the league. In terms of his crossing, his goal contributions, the way he runs forward, and his interceptions, he is right up there in the top tier Championship fullbacks. So no doubt he's gained all this interest. AC Milan really puzzles me because not only are they interested in Matty Cash, but they're also interested in Wigan's fullback, Anthony Robinson. And going back into fullbacks, we now talk to Joe Bryan. He's been linked with Watford and Southampton and a couple more Premier League clubs. He's obviously recently played for Fulham as well. I don't quite see him going. I mean, getting Terence Kongolo, I think Fulham have got him in a panic thinking that Joe Bryan could go. But if I'm going to be honest, in terms of how the transfer is moving and what I've heard from all situations and all statements of the club, I don't see Joe Bryan leaving just yet, especially with Fulham sky high in the Championship as well. I don't think he'd be obliged to try and leave it. But out of Premier clubs, I think he could join. He probably might be able to join Southampton. Obviously, he may play in a position as Ryan Bertrand. He'll be getting a little bit older, and he could be a fantastic replacement, and he'll have a lot of experience. We've got 4 more rumours to go through. Let's go through Glenn Murray now. Someone I've not really mentioned all that much in my transfer show. Nottingham Forest have been the latest club I've found interested in Glenn Murray. He's over 30 years old now, but he does have an incredible Championship pedigree, getting promoted with Crystal Palace, getting promoted with Brighton and Hove Albion. If there's anything he does know how to do, is to score goals in the Championship. He's had a pretty slow season this year in the Premier League. He's not featured all that much under Graham Potter. And to be honest, last season under Chris Hughton as well, he wasn't all that great either. He was terrific for Brighton's first season in the Premier League, but since their second season, which was last season, he's kind of slumped a little bit and he's not been featured as much. He's been more injury prone. With Nottingham Forest, I mean, with the options I've described, he could be a good option to substitute, but I don't see him being a starter. But he will offer some countless experience, so maybe it might not be, maybe it could be a sensible signing. Another striker Nottingham Forest have been interested in is Dwight Gale. I think he'd be a very good signing if they can get him. However, he has played quite a fair bit for Newcastle and he is currently injured as well, so it'll be quite difficult to get him now, and obviously they'll have 9 days for him to return to fitness and to try and get him. When your player's injured, it does add a big layer of complication trying to get a signing done. But with how good Newcastle have been in their position, I'm not sure Dwight Gale's going to leave it, and especially as Steve Bruce is playing him as well. If he wasn't playing him, then I'd say he probably would go to Nottingham Forest. But Steve Bruce is playing him the odd game, so I'd say that Dwight Gale is probably not going to leave Newcastle. Another player linked with Nottingham Forest is Nuno da Costa. He's been linked with Nottingham Forest in the past. They're now back on his radar. He plays for Strasbourg at the moment in France. Linked with about 1.35 million. Once again, I'm not too aware of what the player's about. With Sabri Namucci managing in Liga quite recently, he would have a good understanding of Nuno da Costa. That's probably why that Nottingham Forest are now back interested in this guy. I'm not sure about this one, but if he does join, I'll be very interested to see how he copes with Nottingham Forest. And the final rumour going to go around is Jarod Bowen. Now, I don't really like to repeat players that I've talked about previous shows. I have talked about Jarod Bowen in my first show, but I've got to bring it back again. Leeds United have developed an interest in him. It looks like to me that they're going to have to pay in the excess of £20 million for Hull to accept. I think Leeds have tried to get him, but I don't think Hull have said they've not met his valuation price as of yet. I'll be interested if Leeds go for Jarod Bowen plus a striker, or if it's just Jarod Bowen, or if it's just someone like Che Adams. But if Leeds can get both him and a striker, Leeds could look really, really ruthless with the options they already have. But with Jarod Bowen, obviously his contract runs out this summer, but Hull does have an option to extend that contract by another year, which is a decision made by the club. So technically, he's going to have 18 months left. Jarod Bowen is going to leave for a bigger club at some stage. It's just not a matter if, it's just a matter of when. January will be a bit difficult for that to happen, but we don't know. There's been a lot of twists and turns happening in this transfer window already. A load of players being recalled by clubs and being loaned at other championship clubs. It's been a very topsy-turvy transfer window, so I'm really excited to see where the next couple of days take us in terms of the championship transfers. But I think that's all for me to discuss today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If I missed any transfers out, or if you've found any transfers that you want me to discuss in the next video, please let me know in the comments down below and I'll include your comment and I'll discuss it. If you want to ask me any more further questions about football and transfers in general, you can always follow me on Twitter. Some of you are messaging me on Twitter asking me stuff about football, which I'm very humbled by. I'll leave my Twitter in the description down below so you can drop a follow and you can send me a message or tweet me, whatever you prefer. But if you guys like what you see, please make sure you do give this video a like, and it's massively appreciated. Share the channel to as many football fans as you can to grow a community. And please subscribe if you haven't done, or if you're new around here. All of that would be terrifically appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary if you saw the end of this video. And as always, take care.